Here we go. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live for episode 3 of our YouTube stream. As you may have not have read already in a thread, CAG is moving on to duck hunting season. So he is taking a leave of absence, if not indefinite. I'm gonna miss him. He was a dear friend of mine. I'm also gonna miss competing against him because the two of them gave me the most problems, and I like competing against the best competition out there. So a quick moment of silence for PCAT. All right, moving forward.
He's not dead, right?
I hope not.
Taking his place on the show is Mighty RX. Mighty RX was on the show with us last week on the last episode number 2. And he's gonna be taking his spot. Both PCAT and I think he'll be a great addition, and we'll do a fine job filling in. Mighty, you want to go ahead and reintroduce yourself to everyone?
Hey everyone, I'm Mighty RX. I rep any and every team. I love football, and I love when football is represented properly. That's why I'm part of this CAG league, this fraternity we got, and where it's the last bastion of hope for all pro. But I believe that we got the best representation of football amongst the cast of characters we got together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I say, me and PCAT, we talked a bit, and we feel moving forward that you will be a great addition, and that it should be a pretty seamless transition moving forward. So I look forward to your insight, as well as your football mind. Seeming that you tend to give me a lot of problems defensively, so I look forward to with you that much more. So let's see it. We want to introduce our guest, everyone. Everyone, I'd like to introduce to you. Good evening, Heavy.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Double H, what is up?
I'm with Eddie. I just walked right in the door, so.
All right. It's funny that he's here today. Actually, that you two are here today. You guys just met up. Was it this week or last week for you guys' game?
It's a couple weeks back.
2-3 weeks.
Okay. I was kind of surprised myself how the way the game started off. There seemed to be no defense involved. The two of you was just doing what you wanted to do at will until you guys got settled in. I was just shocked because I could never see them move the ball against Mighty RX the way with the success you were having. I was just sitting there with my mouth open watching the game.
Well, it's better to be lucky than good, I'll say. I was definitely lucky that game. 14 points in one quarter. That's rare for me.
Don't cut yourself short. You took advantage of some miscues I had in the first quarter, and they got that lead. And from there, this is the thing. Whenever I tend to play for some odd reason, okay, not for some odd reason, my kids are always around. I got 4 teams. I run around the house. So whenever I'm playing, they're the ones that are calming me down. That's reminding me, Dad, understand that you got to stay within your game plan. You got to run the rock. You can't just try to air it out because there are no 14-point plays anywhere. Like, you ain't going to find none nowhere. You're going to find none under a basket, at the bottom of the ocean, in no ravine. You just got to take it as it comes, chip away, and just stack good plays on top of good plays. Eventually, great things will happen for you. I'm the type, I give up a touchdown. I'm trying to make up that touchdown and more in one play. So they're like calming me down. Dad, run the rock. It's okay, Dad. Run the rock. He scored. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. Like, you know what? You're right. Let me calm down. Let me get back to what I do. So anyways, congratulations on your big win, HH, at that time. I can't wait to see what you do with the rest of the season. But yeah, That's why we play the game, right? We put them boys on the field, strategize, and let's see what our opponents have. That's why we play the game.
Well, it's not worth anything without that playoff win. So
it's coming, man. It's coming.
Yeah, Eddie's been telling me that for a few seasons now, and that's putting it lightly. So we'll see.
But it's funny you say that because if you look at it, you've had a first round bye, I believe, the last 2 seasons, I think. And your first opponent coming out of the gate has been people who've won the CAG Bowl multiple times. So, you're going up against elite competition like right away. So, despite the first round bye, you've been getting some unfortunate seasons, I guess.
Are you trying?
I'd rather have that continuous game and avoid that first round bye and keep me in my groove.
All right, so you might have to pull a Cleveland and sit out the last 2 weeks just so you can't don't get that top seed, get that number 2 or 3 seed. So you got to play. You feel me?
I dropped the past couple games and I picked up a big win against Run and Shoot the other night. So I'm on track for that skating in. I don't think I'm looking at any first round bye this time, not this season.
It's funny when that game was going on, him and I were texting each other, and I think he punted. He forced the punt on your first possession, and his guy muffed it, and you picked it up and scored. And when that happened, I said, "Uh-oh, this might be one of those games." And he texted me, "Oh, he was pissed."
Like I said, better be lucky than good. I was going in. I want to say I was up 10. I just scored a field goal. It was 20-10 or something like that, and I just thought to myself, I'm like, I'd rather be up against Run and Shoot by 10 rather than be up by 21, because he just has a way to air it out, just drop dimes, and next thing you know, you're tied or you're playing catch up with 20 seconds left in the fourth because he just dropped it out. Just air it out. That I don't know how he does it.
He doesn't need an excuse to air it out. So being down a lot, he got no problem. All right, 4 wide, 5 wide, bombs away.
Yeah, I rarely call dime. He's the one guy I call dime most against, because every formation I look down and I'm like, okay, yep, 4 wide. All right, let's go with dime. Cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, cover 12, and back the corners up and pray.
Oh man, yeah,
it's funny you say that. I've been with my scrimmages against him lately. I've been blitzing a lot, just trying some new things, and I got something I'm gonna try when I play him. I think it's next week or the last week of the season. I forget, but I don't know, because he tends to. I don't know. He gets this bad rap for just, I don't know, his play calling, but I can actually literally see him thinking between snaps with some of the adjustments he makes during the game. But I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it this season. The way our scrimmages have been going, he's been having my number lately. So I don't know. We have to see how it goes, I guess. Well, speaking of which, this season, I don't know, it's kind of progressing kind of slow, I guess, with everyone's schedule lately. But another game I was interested in seeing was your game, Heavy Hitter versus TJ. I think that was 2 weeks ago. I think I called it the game of the week, in fact, yeah. And who won that game? Refresh my memory.
I don't think you need to have your memory refreshed. You were texting me right in the middle of it, and I pretty much told you to shut up.
Yeah, that's right. Now I know who won because normally when you win the game, man, you would text me for about an hour and a half. So, but then I just figured it out because I didn't hear from you for a long time. I said, man, he must have lost. And I went in the forums and I saw how TJ commented how he scored just before the half, and again just before the game concluded. And I said, oh, no wonder I didn't hear from him. He must have lost.
Thanks for refreshing my memory on that. I'm trying to forget that.
The wounds are still fresh, Two Scoops. They're still fresh. What are you doing?
Oh, trust me. It's when I lose, everyone knows when I lose because when I lose, my whole attitude is different around here. But when I win, she knows that too because again, my attitude is different.
Yeah, I
don't know.
I used to be that way too, but I'm like, man, it's a game. I can't be walking around just brooding all around my family. The kids looking at me sideways. My wife like, you sleeping outside, forget the couch. You get your act right. You're going to sleep out on the porch until you get your, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a game. It ain't that serious. But babe, I lost. I hate losing. Can't lose. I'm a winner.
I've walked away from a few games asking myself, how did I just lose that game? I mean, there's just no way I should have lost. Oh, it bores my skin when I lose games. But, so heavy hitter, who recruited you to the league?
Honestly, I've been thinking about that because I knew you're going to bring it up, but I'm drawing a complete blank. I think I stumbled across it when I got into All Pro, and I was at a Operation Sports Forum. I was searching around, and I mean, it's a ghost town. It has been for the past I don't know how many years. And I was searching around. I came across CAG, and I reached out and just kind of I self-recruited.
That's interesting. I don't know if I ever would have found it. TJ recruited me.
No one wanted me. I just showed up and kind of stayed. That's all.
Okay.
He went from uninvited house guest to valued member. How you like that? That's the best right there.
Exactly. So one of my most interesting questions that I always look forward to hearing from is who gives you the most problems offensively, defensively? I think we all know who special teams is and why.
Defensively, it's PCAT and the other gentleman on this call on this episode. PCAT, he'll constantly and come out and say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing on defense, blah blah blah. But then he'll come out. I'm in a big formation, 2 tight ends, one running back, or 1 tight end, two backs, and I'm ready to pound the ball, and he'll come out and nickel. And you know what? He'll stuff me every time. So I'm like, all right, I'll try flipping the script. I'll try passing. But then I look at the other side of the field. He's got 3 silvers and 2 gold defensive backs. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work either. But I got to try something. I only got 2 options here, and I don't know. He says he doesn't know what he's doing, but I think he's just trying to play a little foolery there. And Mighty, I never know what defensive formation you're going with. I know you've said that you like to change it up season to season, but it gives me fits. I think, all right, you're going to come out in 4-3, run that. So I'll come out, be ready to run up the gut between the center and guard, split your D tackles, and then you'll come out in 4-4. Well, all right, so I'll try throwing it deep. Nope. You're playing 4-4 right. You got your corners manned up and you're playing tight on them. So again, I got 2 options. I have nothing else.
Half the time, I don't know what I'm going to pick on offense or defense. I just like I told somebody else on this broadcast to do. Just throw whatever it is in the playbook and make it work. You know what I'm saying? Leave triple alone. But two scoops. I'm gonna give you props this season. You had 3 or 4 games where I see you don't air the ball a lot. You had around 250 yards passing. Nice little balance. I even gave you props. I'm proud of you, brother. Keep up the good work. I know it's in you. Let it out. Let it out. Stop trying to hide it. We know it's there. Let it out. Let it out.
It didn't help this week when I played you, or last week.
Because you ain't trying to air it out. You did. I'll leave it alone. You didn't try to air it out. You know you didn't try to air it out.
Actually, I came out with that mentality, but right before the snap, I end up either audibling or checking it down.
Yeah. Just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Hot route one man and run with it. Make it work. Go through your little reads. Go through your progressions. If you don't like none, check it down. Take 3 yards. It's okay. Live to see tomorrow.
The way my offense is set up, every possession matters, man. Every possession matters, and I can't.
See, and that's the. You know what's funny? I'm glad you brought that up because today, one of the people I follow on Twitter is NYKia. He used to be in CAG with us, doing big things. Now he's more into Madden, whatever. I retweeted something that someone had posted about quarterbacks. That when you don't have a quarterback, every play matters. Mm-hmm. Every play. It could be 1st and 10, first play of the game. If he screws that up, that uphill climb is almost impossible. As opposed to, let's say you got a Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying, a vintage Dan Marino, a vintage Peyton Manning on the center. First down, the first quarter, who cares? He could throw a pick 6. You ain't worried because next possession or the next 5 possessions, you have to score touchdowns and come back from it. But it's all your mentality. So you can't have every play mean so much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's okay. So what? You throw a pick. You need that run and shoot mentality. I threw a pick. That's all right. I'm going to get a pick right back. And I'm taking that one to the house. I'm just saying. That's all.
That's easy to say. Easier said than done.
Calculated risk. That's all I got to say. Calculated risk.
That was sometimes you just got to cut it loose. It's one-on-one. You got to feel like you got to feel like your receiver's uncovered. You got to take that chance sometimes.
I guess. I don't know. One day.
My gosh, one day.
Man, you know what's funny? Because I watch a lot of run and shoot games, and I've seen him on 3rd and 2. And how that guy has the mentality to just throw it deep no matter what.
No matter what.
I would never. I would never have that ice water in my veins. Never. I don't know how he. I see him. I'm like, dude, he got somebody short wide open.
Wide open.
But he throws anyway.
See, that's what you need right there. See, I'm not saying do that every down, but from time to time, take that shot, man. Cut that thing loose. Get some Brett Favre in you or something.
I see him just this week. He was playing heavy hitter, and there was a couple of times he had people underneath on 3rd down, wide open.
You don't want that. It's too easy. It's too easy.
It's too easy.
Too easy.
And I said to myself, what is he doing? I would never have. I don't know if it's because I played defense or what, but I would just never have that mentality. It's just not in me. Others, I don't know. One day I just do it just for the heck of it, but I don't know.
And then it's gonna work, and you're gonna be like, man, why I ain't do that sooner? Watch.
It's probably cost me a couple of CAG bowls because I just refuse to do it. I'm sure it has, but I don't know because I see people when I play them, they just sit on the sticks at the first down marker, just waiting on me because they know what's coming.
Yeah.
Ignore it. They only got one guy back deep because they know it's.
Yeah, like I told you, hashtag get rid of triple. You already know. Hashtag get rid of triple.
But it works for
Oh,
me.
stop it! Stop!
That's my favorite
Stop!
formation.
Listen, I'm gonna send you a bunch of players out of another formation that is even deadlier. And I want you to get rid of triple. Hey, real talk. Next season, I don't want to see triple on the field. I'm gonna give you a formation. I'm gonna give you a formation that is on point. You're just gonna have to lab a little bit just to get used to the rhythms. I'm telling you, I don't want to see triple on the field next season.
Do with it. Send it to me.
I got you. Trust me, I got you. I've been on the game this whole week trying to fix my playbook for the simulation league that I'm in. Trust me, there are plenty of formations out there to just ball out. But I'm gonna send you one. We're about 4-5 plays, and you hone those and mix those in with some other things you got going on. Watch. First of all, people ain't gonna see it coming because you ain't used those, and then because you on point, man, you're gonna surprise folk left and right. Then you can reintroduce triple, and then you got the world's your oyster. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help a brother out.
We'll see about that. Well, the season is coming down to a close. We're in the last 2-3 weeks of the season, and I don't know what's going on, but this season is kind of interesting because it's just a total log jam right now. Other than you, Mighty, no one's really stepping out and just taking hold of the season. Well, TJ is doing pretty good. I think he only has 2 losses, but I think you only have 1 loss this season. But everyone else is pretty much log jam right in the middle. And one thing else I also noticed, Dazzle 47, he's in the mix for a playoff spot this season. And he came out the gate pretty strong. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with him this season. He's he surprised me when we played. I don't know if you guys saw it, the comments, but there wasn't a turnover and there was only 1 drop pass throughout the entire game. And he beat me, I think it was 31-28 or something like that. Man, I was pissed off at my defense. They let me down big time. But he was throwing the ball over my head all game long. And I wasn't used to it because he plays on offense kind of like I do. He just sits on the sticks. And to see the ball just constantly being, all those intermediate and deep routes, I didn't expect none of that. And every time I thought about just going back and just, playing a deep ball, I said, no, he's going to go back to his old self. And he never did. I never adjusted, and I paid for it.
Didn't your coach always tell you got to be deeper than the deepest? What part of that did you not understand? Did you not remember? I'm asking for a friend. What part of that deeper than the deepest? You know what I'm saying? You know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you. Carry on.
He did say that, but I mean, versus him in the past, I could just ignore that because I knew it wasn't coming. And to see that ball is, I mean, we were just like this. Okay.
That's why user safety.
But yeah, I got out coached, and man, it was embarrassing. He just beat us up, and he got the win, well deserved. I don't know. I gotta change some things up versus him because that I did not see that coming. But other than that, run and shoot, he only has 1 win this season, which is kind of surprising. But other than that, like I said, everybody else is pretty much log jam, and it's just a race to try and get in this season. PCAT, oh man, another game. Run and shoot actually should have another win. He was playing PCAT, and he had that game in the bag. And I think it was like 40, no, I think it was 1:18 left. He had the ball on 3rd down. PCAT was out of timeouts. All he had to do was run the ball, kick it, and PCAT would have had maybe, I think, 16 seconds left to try and do something with it. And what did this guy do? He threw an interception He threw it into like a crowd of 3 defenders. They got picked off, and Piquet, I think, threw one pass and then kicked the game-winning field goal. And I said, dude, that's how coaches get fired, doing stuff like that.
Well, like you said, I think he, I think if you look at Run and Shoot's playbook, he probably only has, one run play in there, and the one time he uses it, it actually gains 20-some yards.
Every time he runs the ball, it catches me totally off guard, and it's a substantial gain. I'm like, why don't he do this more often? I don't get it.
I remember there was one season where P-Cat rolled with a goal running back. I think he had Todd Gurley. He was playing with the Rams. He was doing his thing with Gurley now, and the defense was still on point. It's still like that run and shoot defense that we all have come to expect. But I don't think like that was his cup of tea, because immediately the following season he was in full bronze. Yeah, the 2 gold, 2 bronze, gold quarterback, back airing it out. So it's not like he's tried it, but I don't think that's what he relishes in. Because even when he's playing like league, not league games, but games online, what I'm saying, just lobby games. If you ever watch him play those, it's full wide. I'm airing it out. Catch me if you can.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We're gonna keep moving forward. Season is almost over with. We'll see where it goes. But one of the questions that people asked me to talk about, and only a few people actually even know this story, but they asked, one guy asked me, how did I get the nickname Two Scoops? And it actually came from football. I'm gonna try to make this long story short, but basically, I was playing safety, and we were already thin at linebacker because a couple of guys were hurt. And sure enough, I think it was our wheel linebacker. He got hurt on a play. The field was all muddy, and he got hurt, and they moved me over to play wheel, and they brought a guy off the bench to play safety. And sure enough, of course, the coach from other teams sees what's going on. He calls a toss, and this tailback, I'm telling you, dude, he looked like he belonged in the field. But he came right at me, and I tackled him low, got him on the ground, but I think I got a concussion on that play. And back then, I don't know if I had one or not, but I think I did. But the coach was trying to tell me come out the game. And I pretty much refused them, told them, no, I'm okay. Just give me a few seconds. They called a timeout. My girlfriend was at the game watching. I didn't want her to see me getting taken off the field because I got, hurt. And I just refused to come out. And actually, a few plays later, I ended up getting an interception off of a tip pass. And we came off the field, and the coach said, what did he say? He said, son, you must have had your Wheatie this morning. And somebody else said, no, he had 2 scoops of Raisin Bran or something like that, they said. And there you have it. That's how I got that nickname. They actually even tattooed it on my arm. I won't show it, but they tattooed it on my arm like 2 days before I left Germany and came back to it. I was in Germany at that time. 2 days before I came back home from Germany, they tattooed it on my arm. So there you have it.
I guess there's no getting rid of that nickname now.
No, it's permanent. I actually hate the tattoo, to be honest with you. But they also asked me how I got the nickname Sitting Here Flossing. And I actually answered that question during Vertigo's show. And but I actually kind of told a fib about it because, my wife was close to me, and that nickname came long before her. And so I just leave that at that. Another question that was asked, actually Mighty brought this up. He wanted to talk about, he wanted to have a Where Are They Now segment talking about past champions and where they at today. I don't know where everyone is, but 3 of them I know in particular. Vertigo, I think he won it, I think 2 or 3 times. One of them was actually against me. Funny story, our game went into overtime in the CAG Bowl, and I punted it, and the ball went over my punter's head into the end zone for safety, and he won. Oh, that pissed me off. But I actually talked to him probably about, maybe three months ago on the phone. He called me and touched base with me for a minute. He said he may come back, but right now he's busy. He went back to school and he's dating someone right now. He's been kind of busy. I do see him online still with doing stuff with aviation. Like he does a lot of flight simulation and stuff online. But he said he may come back at some point. He's just not sure. Then who else was there? There was T-Pat. He's got some personal stuff going on, I think, where he's trying to get some stuff done. But I think he's still in the SFL. Ain't is he in the SFL, Mighty RX?
He took this. He was here. He was with us last season. That ended in, I believe, May. And then he took a step back because he said he had some things he had to tighten up, and he might rejoin us for the following season that begins in January of next year.
Gotcha. Okay. And then there's a guy, he won a CAG Bowl, I think shortly after I came. His name was Kicker 1111. He actually reached out to me. He sent me a message one day, probably about maybe a month ago, asked me if I wanted to scrimmage. Said he hadn't played in a long time. And I said, sure. And then he said he started getting all hyped up about the game again. And he said he may join when we go back to a 20, what do you call that? A 20 cap season. He said he may come back. He told me to send him a message when I know we're gonna do it. And he said at that time he may reach out to TJ and come back a season. So we have to see what happens with that. But I hope so, because I liked playing with him, or against him rather. He used to come out like you, Mighty RX. He had like 2-3 guys on offense. He had 1 gold receiver, a bronze tight end, I think a bronze quarterback, and a silver running back, and everyone else was on defense. But he put a lot of his emphasis on defense, like I say. It was fun playing against him. So I hope he does come back. But as far as everyone else goes, who's won a CAG Bowl, that was before my time. I don't know where the heck those guys are. You had to ask TJ or somebody. It's one of those older guys that came around before me. I came around in, I think, CAG 28. And all the guys I mentioned were members here then. But the other guys, they won it before I got here. I don't know where they are. I'm not even sure they're in the lobby anymore or what they're doing these days. Madden, God knows what else. I'm not sure. Of those guys who we talked about, Mighty, have you reached out to any of them in the SFL or anything like that at all?
No, not really. I didn't have a chance to. There's a couple other guys like Super Buffando and stuff like that I'm probably gonna try to reach out to within the next week or two, just to see where they at. Tell them about the show, remind about the CAG memories or whatnot. Maybe I could get a couple quotes here and there to relate to y'all at the next show.
Nice if we can get some guys who've won it before to come back. I mean, the competition is already, deep as it is, and it's so freaking hard to freaking win this darn thing, man. But I think the more competition makes for even more fun and makes things even more interesting. So we have to see where that goes. Yes.
I mean, steel sharpens steel, right?
That's it.
Say it again.
Steel sharpens steel.
That's right. That's right. I like that. Yeah, but those other guys you have to reach out to some of those older guys, like I don't know, the Dazzles or TJ or something, because I don't know where those guys are.
Well, TJ is mic and camera shot. You know how long I've known TJ? I have yet to hear his voice. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely. I want to go down that wall of champions and reach out to the guys just to see where they at, what they've been up to. If they have a word or two they would like to share with the rest of the league, that'd be awesome. So I would definitely do that.
Yeah. Well, if you reach out to them, man, plead with them. I love playing against different guys and different play styles, and it forces me to adapt and try different things, especially defensively. I think that I get more of a threat out of that than anything. I like to pit my defense against people who are known for one thing, to see if I can shut it down or at least limit it. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, if you get in touch with them, let us know. Post something in the forums about it, or reach out to them and say, hey, we'd love to have you back or something.
I'm gonna trust me. I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop of what's going on there. So yeah, I will be on the hunt. I will be on the hunt. So, but
okay.
This is gonna be a crazy question, maybe a little controversial. What is one rule that we have to abide by currently that you feel is either unfair or unnecessary? And if you'd like to explain why, go ahead.
You know what? For the most part, I like the rules, all the rules we have. But that said, there is one play on offense that I wish they would allow, because teams that have stacked secondaries that play a lot of press man, it can be hard to move, at least for me, my offense. I can't speak for everybody, but my offense is, nothing special. Although people tend to give me credit I don't think I deserve, but my offense is, it's probably amongst the bottom of the barrel. But one rule I wish they would, one play I wish they would allow, one route, that they would allow us to do, and I don't know what CAG calls it, but the one where the receivers they stutter one way and then go the other way and straight up the field, that would beat. I won't say it will beat, but that tends to be a favorable route for press man coverage. I remember one time when I first came to the league, TJ scrimmaged me in a game, and he kept coming out in press man, and I said, okay, I got something for that, and I ran it for a touchdown. And TJ paused the game and said, no, we read the rules, Floss. We're not having that. That route isn't allowed. But other than that, I don't have a problem with the rules. I just wish they would allow that one route to be allowed. I don't like it.
Well, I think the fade route is what you're talking about. I think in press man it is favorable for that. However, you can push your corners off 10 yards and they'll still just stand there while the receiver runs by you, and you're just hoping that you're in a cover two or something where your safety is going to pick them up after they've ran another 15, 20 yards. So I mean, I think the fade route is fair, because I mean it's easily countered against press man by giving your receiver bump buster. And I mean there are routes to beat press man that aren't the fade route. I mean, you can run drags, you can It's not. I mean, you can run slant routes. There are routes that exist. I mean, you can come out in bunch formation and set up pretty much natural picks and to counter that. So I don't think really the fade route is the thing to counter a bump master. It's being able to use your formations that aren't that are meant to counter man, counter zone, counter bump press coverage. That's what I love about 2K is they replicate football. I mean, yeah, it has its glitches and things like that, but the rules that are set in place right now are they balance out to minimize those glitches, really.
Now, I'm not referring to the route where he like runs at an angle towards the corner. If that's what you're referring to, I agree with that one. I don't like that. I don't like that one at all. That should be banned. But the one where he like takes a jab step to the right, I think it is, or to the left, and goes straight up the field, that's the one I'm referring to.
The thing about the fade route, the problem with the fade route in the game is that it's not a regular route. For some odd reason, it's like the wide receivers get a speed burst because the minute the ball is snapped, they're running full speed past coverages, past defenders, and that's one of the reasons why we had to kind of put the kibosh on the fade route. Now, mind you, there was a time where you could run one fade a half, and people used to have to, want to wait to try to set it up, catch the defense snapping, and but then, after a while, it was one of those. Well, hey, that's a fade. People running replays. No, that was a fade. You already ran this. So instead of having to deal with all that nonsense, just kill the route completely. So that to kind of make it fair, because there shouldn't be one route in the game that automatically gets you an 80-yard touchdown. And if you sleep on the fade, that's what's going to happen. But now there are many other routes in the game that could defeat press man. There are fade outs. There are fade stops. There are 90Z arrow, 50Z under. You know what I'm saying? All those plays have built-in press man beaters. You just gotta put them in your playbook and avail yourself to them when you see people come out and press man. Now, mind you, a lot of guys in the league, it looks like they press man. It's just ridiculous combo coverage. Like TJ runs, like he'll run nickel, and one side of the field is man, the other side of the field is zone. Good luck figuring it out before you know what I'm saying, pre-snap, or you have run and shoot. That's running he's running cross man where the corner's guarding the tight end and linebackers guarding the receiver, and it's like who's guarding what? You don't know till you know what I'm saying, but it's stuff like that. So, but if you see someone come out and press man in your audibles, you should have a 90Z arrow or 90 arrows or 50Z under or even a 50X spot. You know what I'm saying? And then see where they're, because a lot of time when people play press man, they don't just sit the corners directly in front of the receiver. They favor a side, either inside or outside. If they squat inside, okay, get your fade outs, get your fade stops. You know what I'm saying? To take advantage of that. If they're sitting outside, you got your 90Z arrow still. You got your 90 all slants. You know what I'm saying? 50Z under. You got your 50Z deep drag. There are many plays in the game that sort of fade in itself. Yes, I understand it defeats press man, but it also is kind of a glitch route because of that extra speed burst that receiver gets. Because we'll talk after the show. I don't need everybody to know. I'm gonna give you a press man beater. You just got to be patient, and it has the same effect, and it's legal in the game. We'll talk. I got you.
I understand all that. We're gonna have to agree to disagree because I know plays that can beat press man, but I don't know if you guys think about the one I'm talking about where he runs straight at an angle to the sideline. That's not the one I'm talking about. He goes straight up the field.
Eddie, is this the only way that we're going to be able to get you to throw deep?
That play can be stopped. I'll stop that play. That play is not something that's unbeatable. It can be stopped.
No. We're not saying that it is unbeatable. That it can't be stopped. but the amount of resources necessary to stop that play, as opposed and also what the receivers look like when they run that play, it's more hassle than it's worth. So as opposed to have to do all that, just let's take the route out. The same reason why there's a certain play action out of bunch that we don't allow, because it kind of breaks the game where the receivers act like they block. So if you play man, they go out for a pass and everybody's open. You know, those are headaches we don't want to run into. We're trying to run this thing as real football as it could be. And in real football, a fade leads to the corner. A fade is not an 80-yard bomb. That's not a fade. But in the game, the fade route is an 80-yard bomb down the field. That's the route. It's a speed because they basically run around the corner and just jet down the field as fast as they can. That's not a fade. That's not a fade route. Nowhere in the fade route. I'm sorry. Go ahead, HH.
Well, do you want to really open that door for run and shoot? He's already giving the rest of the league problems.
Ain't it?
Let's try and limit. Let's try and stop the bleeding here, rather than just open up the wound. Let's not twist that knife, please. I can only run cover 4 and cover 12 so many times.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, nah, I gotta save all the tips I can. I'm
Oh,
there's ways of defending him other than cover 4 and cover 12, but that's another show for another day.
I blitz a lot. That's what on 3rd and long. Them boys are coming. You better hope you get the ball out before the boys hit you. That's it. That's right. 3rd and long, I'm coming.
That's right.
Heavy, are there any rules or one specific rule that you feel like isn't justified? And if so, why do you feel that way?
No, it's not the rule. I mean, the rules are great. I have no problem with them. If anything, it's a question of, can I run a no huddle in this situation or not? But I mean, the one that it's not really a rule. It's more of a restricted ability. It's being able to use the I forget what the ability is called, but you hit X and by chance you might be able to see the opposing team's play, or
you're talking about signal stealer.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Because I mean, I brought this up, I don't know, 4 or 5 seasons ago, and had an open discussion about it in the forum. I mean, it'd be the reason I'm for it is because it forces guys to actually strategize their audibles. You know, I mean, because you don't know the way I understand that it works. I haven't used it, but I mean, the way I understand it works is you hit X. You get notified that your play was read, but you don't know if it's correct or not, if it's a correct read that the other team is seeing. Mm-hmm. So now do you audible, or do you keep to the play that you've already set up and made your pre-snap reads on and go with a chance that it's not the right play, or you go with the confidence that you can use her appropriately and be able to overcome it? And I mean, just adding the more strategy to it because of that off chance is something I think would make the league very interesting.
Yeah, to me, I feel you on that one, HH. To me, it would add to the chess match. The only issue I had with signal caller was when running in the lobbies. You see, whenever you ran to guys that had signals that had a signal stealer, should I say, you could just hear them spamming square or was it X? They're spamming the X button, and you hear it, gang, 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 gang. And when they finally steal it, it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. But it's more annoying to have to deal with that sound. So I guess you play with the sound off, you'll be fine, kind of thing, than anything. But in the league that we're in, I don't see it being as big of an issue as it would be playing in the lobbies where guys are spamming it, trying to figure out. Because Because in reality, if you think about it, you know, your Ray Lewis's, your Peyton Mannings of the world, you know, with all the film study they're putting in, when you come out to certain formation and personnel groupings, dude, they know what you're running.
That's right.
Exactly.
And the name of the game in football, sometimes it ain't just, you know, outsmart the next man. It's just, hey, put him on the field. You know, like what did Vince Lombardi say? You got to seal here and you seal there, and here's the alley. Well, guess what? They ran that power sweep to death in Green Bay. Everybody knew they were going to run it. Stop it. That's your job. As a defense, you stop it. You can't stop it. Guess what? They're going to run it 60 times until you can. Now, understand now, if we run it 60 times in the league, it does feel like it's sim. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying? Like, teams beat you into submission. That's what, like in the NFL, that's what they do. If they know you can't stop something, they're going to do it until you prove you can.
Exactly. Because then, I mean, and to counter your argument of people just spamming it, well, that's simple. I mean, make it a restricted ability that can only go on your elite players, your golds, you know. And if it's a matter of spamming it, make a rule you use it once a quarter, once a half, once a game, something like that. And I mean, it's not that we're dealing with, you know, a bunch of Madden players here who the only thing they care about is winning, and then they'll justify how they won later and beg for forgiveness. No, I mean, we got guys who are the rules, they abide by the rules, and if they don't abide by the rules, then they're quickly seen out after that season. And I mean, the fact that we've had this group of guys here for as many seasons and years, months, however long that these guys have been here, I mean, a simple rule like that where it's you can put it on only gold defenders, or gold offensive players, gold whatever, and you can use it only once a quarter, once a half, or what have you. Guys are going to be strategic about that, and they're going to use it and be smart about it instead of just saying, all right, well, it's the first play of the game, I guess I'll use it now. No, they're going to use it when they need it. And when they do need it, they don't know if that play is correct or not. So it's a risk, a calculated risk, just like football, calculated risk on their end, and it's also a calculated risk for their opponent.
You know, for me, I could care less about it. If they want to use it, that's fine. Me, myself, I would probably never use it. And I would hope that my opponent did, because for me, it's one less good ability for them to have, because I mean, I can always audible out of it and go to something else, unless it's like third down or something, and I really, you know, would like to have that play in mind. But go ahead and you can put it on all your players for all I care. To me, you serving an advantage for me. So go ahead and pick it if you want. I could care less.
Exactly.
The only thing, HH, with legislating the number of times it could be used in game. Let's say somebody feels wrong because they hear someone, you know, pressing the button and they feel like they've used the person they're playing used it already once and a half, you use second time and a half. Now you got to present some evidence, you know, in your grievance, and it's like, we're all grown men. We ain't got time for nonsense like this. We're all doing this for fun, but you never know, because in the group of guys that we have right now, I don't see how it would be an issue. But you know, we're trying to expand. We're always trying to grow. So the new guys that come in might not have, you know, I'm gonna use this term, but it doesn't. I don't mean the way it's going to sound as reputable as the cast that we have now. So let's say they do jump in a game where they use it twice and a half when it's only allowed once. You know what I'm saying? And then now, do you let it slide? I'm the type I would let it slide because I don't care. I just want to play football, have fun, you know. But someone else, you know, let's say it's in a playoff game and they use it twice against you, and you feel like that's the reason why he was able to jump on your play, because he used it with like 3 seconds left in the play clock. You ain't got time to audible. You just got to run what it is. So it's just preventing headaches. That's what I'm thinking of when I hear signal stealer. But hey, I'm not against it. I'm just thinking out loud, trying to be, you know what I'm saying, devil's advocate in this one.
No, I see your point, but I mean, there have been. I mean, I'll always say a a timeout is a heck of a lot more valuable or less valuable than giving up a touchdown. So I mean, while I see your point, and I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a problem, but I mean, if it were to come down to that, call timeout, pause the game, give a friendly reminder to whoever you're playing, and move on. If it's a repetitive thing, then I think if anything, it's Mighty, going back to your question, it's not necessarily an existing rule, but a rule that doesn't exist is how do we handle opponents who after a few times, I mean, after that first time, first time's a mistake. Fool me once, it's shame on me. Or fool me once, shame on
Shame
you.
on you. Fool me twice.
Fool me twice, shame on me. So if they keep doing it after you've mentioned it to them, now it's intentional, or at least that's. I mean, it's an hour, people. We're not goldfish. We have a memory longer than 5 seconds. You know, it's how to break off games, and when it seems to be a repetitive thing where, all right, well, call got a late hit call, they accepted. All right, well, I'll give a friendly reminder. Hey, late hit calls aren't in the rules as being not to be accepted, and okay, all right, yeah, no big deal. They accept it again. Now it's intentional, and it's those situations that that there has to be some kind of procedure of, all right, pause the game, exit out, reconvene with TJ with whatever, and restart the game, and remove that competitive edge that was achieved by not following a rule or the rules or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Mine. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eddie.
At some point, if that's something you guys want to consider, then I think it'd be up to TJ to make that call. Myself, I could care less if my opponent used it, because I think it's just taking an ability that they could have had, and for me, I like to read keys. Once the ball is snapped and stuff like that, even pre-snap. So I don't see myself ever using it. But if my opponent wants to use it, I could care less.
No, but Eddie, you can make that argument for every ability in this game, you know.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. To each his own. But if people want to use it, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Hey, Destro brought some up in the chat saying that penalties are part of the game.
A good one too.
And then change that one too, because I've been this one that been bothering me since my last All Pro Football League. The penalty I'm talking about is the late hits, unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll call it that. I don't understand why we are forced to decline it. It's part of the game. Like when they call holding on your O-line, you weren't holding, the computer was. It's a penalty. When someone grabs a face mask, half the time it's not you doing it. It's the computer trying to tackle somebody. We're accepting it. On pass interference calls, don't talk me pass interference. I lost multiple games because of wacky pass interference calls. The computer doesn't have the time. It's not you. When you look at the replay, it's not even pass interference. It's them getting in position to try to intercept the ball. We accept that. But late hits, late hits are like, I don't understand why late hits. What's so sacred about late hits that make us have to decline them? Like,
well, late hits, they're awfully sensitive in the game. I mean, you can be a fraction of a second late after the whistle is blown, and you're coming in. You're already in that animation to dive and try and make that tackle. Or you try to pile on to the tackle and bring them down faster, or push the pile back, right? But they go down a fraction of a second before you get there, but you're stuck in your animation, so you're called for a late hit. Now, the rule says that you can accept it if it's clearly intentional.
I believe the first season in, I accepted one that I clearly showed, like my running back's literally on the ground, and after the ball carrier hit the ground, he's down. You know what I'm saying? The player dove with his linebacker around top of, and then he basically reported to me like, "Hey, this dude accepted a late hit." I'm like, so now I decline all late hits because it's the rule. But to me, that doesn't make sense. Like, if you want to tack on to, you know what I'm saying, a ball carrier that's being hit, just get in the proper angle and run into them, and the animation will trigger where a two-man tackle will trigger from it. You don't have to dive. Like, the only time you should ever be diving is if you're grasping and you're about to be out of the person's reach. Besides that, you run into them.
Bam.
If you got big hit on, if you run into them, your big hit animation gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? If you got high helmet, if you run into them, high helmet gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? If you click the right stick, your low tackle animation is gonna happen. You don't have to dive to make a tackle.
It's funny you say that, because this one guy, Showtime, I forget his freaking area code, but Showtime 718, I think it is. He is notorious for diving. And I've seen him dive and miss guys that cost him a first down or a touchdown. I'm like, dude, why are you diving? Just keep running. And when you get close enough, it's going to hit him anyway.
There you go.
But it's not just him. I see a lot of guys do that, and I don't know why they do it.
I mean, because all diving does, if you miss that dive, woof, they're going to be running for a minute. So why do that? You know what I'm saying? Just angle yourself right so you could meet the ball carrier at the proper angle, and then the animation goes, whatever animation your ball carrier with the physics and momentum gonna trigger. And if you need to tack on somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Press that button right quick, get to another defender to tack on to get that two-man action, and bomb, bring that ball carrier down, move on to the next down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever down that may be. But that late hit one, boggles my mind, because all the other penalties I've lost game on, we get to accept. But that one, really, it's part of the game. It happens sometimes. So hey, so what? The computer dives on top. They're the ones that cause most of the penalties in the game, anyways. You know what I'm saying? You accept all 99 of like that 1%. It's either accept all or you know what I'm saying, decline all. You can't be picking and choosing like that, man. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy. Like to others, it might feel like it makes sense, but to me, it's crazy. But anyways, and that's not even the penalty I want to bring up. I just saw Destro saying that. I'm like, hey, you know what? That grinds my gears a little bit. So I had to, I was your voice, Destro, right there. I sound just like you, just without the cursing. The one rule that I don't understand is making inside linebackers as outside linebackers. To me, because I understand inside linebackers are a tad slower, but if you, now that we have the editor, you can look behind, you know what I'm saying, and see what the numbers say. They're a tad slower. They tackle the same. They actually cover better. They actually pass rush. No, the pass rush is a little worse. But if it's okay to make outside as insides, what's the difference between that and making fullbacks as running backs or running backs as fullbacks? To me, what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? If the reason why we make outside linebackers, you know what I'm saying, we allow people to make their inside linebackers outside because they're not as fast or as good as we thought they weren't as good. We come to find out they're just not as fast. They got, I think there's 5 speed points difference between the two. Well, why can't I make my fullback a running back? I mean, he's a little slower, but besides that, to me, I never understood that one to me. Like, if it's a deficient, you know what I'm saying?
What is the question you
posed? I don't think that's a rule.
It is a rule.
Where? I have the rules in front of me right now.
that you can make your inside linebackers as outsides. It is.
No, that says you cannot. So I have it right here for under substitutions. Outside linebackers at D ends, that's only permitted in nickel and dime formations, as long as they have a pass rushing ability. Subs cannot sub any linebacker at any defensive back spot except for nickel or dime. Cannot sub a wide receiver or tight end or any defensive player at halfback or fullback. You can sub tight end as a slot wide receiver. Can sub a wide receiver or cannot sub a wide receiver as a tight end or tackle eligible, and that's it. So
Give me a sec. I'll find it for you.
Yeah, I don't know where that rule is, but because I know I've used a in a
fact,
season pass.
DJ recently even stated that you can sub the fullback out for a tailback or an H-back.
Yeah, because I've used a gold fullback before as a running back.
No.
Right.
Yes, but this season, I specifically asked him before the season started, can I create my fullback as a running back? And he told me no.
Yes.
He told me no.
No, that's different because this season you have no say in the players that you that you select. If you pick a fullback, you pick a fullback.
Right.
It's a draft season. It's not a fantasy season.
I asked him in general, and he said no. You cannot make your fullback like I want, because what I want to do, I want to make a goal, get a gold. But you know what I'm saying. But instead of having him play running back, and he's like, nah, that ain't allowed because of the discrepancies. Because not only are they faster, because not only are they faster, they catch better, they're more agile. You know what I'm saying? They break I believe the break tackles is the same, but their route running's better, and they just have advantages across the board over fullbacks. The only thing fullbacks are better at is blocking.
I'm almost certain he said we could, but I'm gonna pose that question for him and see what he says. I'm almost certain that he allowed us to do that.
I am too, because like I said, I have the rules right in front of me. And I don't see that.
Now, one thing that Deshaun brought up that I happen to agree with is I don't like when guys run multiple replays in a game.
Yeah,
especially when it's something. Let's say I'm on offense and I get a play that even whether it has minimal success or it's a big gain or whatever. I can't stand when people run replays to see what happened. I don't know. That irks me. If you want to see what happened, record the game yourself or something, and come, because to me it ruins the flow of the game. Just play and I don't know, adapt and do something different. Or, I don't know, but
how did you ever play Vert then?
Oh,
Vertigo.
Dude, Vertigo used to run like 10 replays a game. Oh man, it was. He would turn a 1 hour game into an hour and 30 minutes. It was hard.
Well, Vert would. I remember he was only around for a little bit before when I was here, and I remember he would go to the replay quick, go through it as fast as possible, and he'd be out in like 10 seconds less. And I mean all he wanted to see is how the play quickly developed, who went where, and right. So I mean that I get, but if you get into like lobbies or something where you got guys who look at a play over and over and over, move on. That I get, but I mean the quick replays to 2-3 times a game or something just to see what the heck was my guy doing? Was it a little hit step that he had and when he broke on the route or something, or did he kind of just have that little rare glitch where he just kind of stops in his tracks for a play. But I mean, I don't think it's really an issue in the league.
Not so much in the league, but I mean, how about like when an offensive lineman blows an assignment and guys got to replay it, see what happened? You know what happened. We both saw the play, dude. Let's keep going. Only got the game's an hour. I don't need for it to be an hour and 15 minutes. Let's just move on. It happens to both of us on both sides of the ball. I don't know. I won't say it irks me, but it just
grinds your gears. I got you. It grinds your gears. We got you.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we all have one of those, right?
Yeah, I guess. So.
I believe next season that we're gonna go into is gonna be an NFL season, seeing that we're so close to it to its kickoff. The only thing I don't know, because TJ had posed us a question, sending our votes about what kind of bills that we wanted to work with for the upcoming season, should I say. I don't know what is leading or what's winning. I think he's listening to the broadcast right now. So if you're there, TJ, if you give us a count as to what's leading right now, because I believe he had asked if we wanted a 16 cap season or a 20 cap season. So I don't know what's winning.
I hope it's 20 because I miss my D line. I don't have one this season, and guys got all day to throw. Oh my God. There's certain plays I can't even call this season because it's predicated on a pass rush, and I don't have one this season. It's freaking irking the heck out of me.
I know TJ put up the poll because from last episode it was brought up of having kind of a nice medium between 11 and 12 caps or 20, and he put up the poll for everyone to PM him whether they want the next season to be 16 or 20 caps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. He didn't say anything about it since. I don't know what happened with that.
No, he's probably gonna wait till the season is announced, and it'll come out of the woodwork then. But I mean, that's one thing TJ does well. Although he keeps things close to the chest, he does a great job keeping the league interesting. Agreed. I've been in football, video game football leagues since, oh God, I don't know when, 2006 or so. And this is the one league, well, it's the longest league I've ever seen run constantly. And this is the longest I've ever been a part of a league for this long. I've been here, I want to say, since CAG 30. So I've been around for about three and a half years now. And that, for me, being in past leagues, that's kind of saying something, because I would lose interest after 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah, I like to switch up. You know what I'm saying? You get to play with your team, with the new, you know what I'm saying, create your new draft picks or whatever new free agents you got for a couple, 2, 3 seasons, and then get to switch up for a little fantasy action here, or create your own squad or your own theme squad. What I would like, I ain't gonna lie, for a theme for a season though, I'd love to have people or have us make each other's team. Like, let's say, going into season, like HH, you got your squad, Flossie, you got your squad, I got my own squad, and then before the season said switch. So Flossie, you got to run with the squad I made. HH got to run with the squad Flossie made. I got to run with the squad HH made. No. What you mean? What you mean?
No. I'm not putting my trust into someone else. Are you kidding me? I'm having enough trouble trying to win with my own teams.
Just you know what I'm saying, just to switch up because in my other league in the other league I was in prior to this one, the Gridiron, we had a season like that. It was called the rival season, where you basically build your team for like one other user and y'all switch. The words exchanged. They were friendly words. The words were not friendly. You know what I'm saying? You're used to running with a goal quarterback, receivers all day, and you stuck with the team. I got 5 linemen. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how the other user plays. It was it was challenging. It made for an interesting season, you know, because it did force people way out of their comfort zone and have to make, have to use skills or their, or kind of strengthen their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see some different things happen, and from that, people had to go, grew and got better. But yeah, that's one thing I'd like to see at least, you know what I'm saying, once, just see what that would look like.
I would get your team and just be, I'll be all screwed up.
What you mean? You get my squad, you get 3 goal defensive linemen. You wouldn't love that? That's that love life right there.
I would love that. My problem would be scoring.
Okay, like I said, after this broadcast, I'm gonna hook you up with fresh formation that you're gonna lab, and then you're gonna be like, you know what? Thank you. Because it's one thing for someone to say be different. And it's some complete different when someone says, here, this is how you get to be different. And like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? You could either give the man the fish or teach the man to fish. I'm gonna teach the man to fish.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to see what you got for me.
But staying on the fantasy league kind of talk, I did try launching my own league, and I posted it in the forum. It's actually kind of a mash of what we have going on currently, but instead of having your far end of your spectrum kind of player types, it's all just normal fictional players. And actually, T-Pat, a number of years ago, he tried something as well. It was in typical T-Pat fashion, much more intricate and detailed and everything, with backstories and all that jazz. But using the same kind of thought of what we're doing now is with a pool of players listed in a spreadsheet that's sent out to all the league participants to build a draft board. It's very similar.
Bless you. Yeah, I would. I saw when y'all posted that draft league heavy hitter, and I was like, that looks interesting, but it also looked intricate. And I'm already in more than enough leagues for my liking for me to have to jump into another one where some pre-work would be required before I even really step foot on the field. Is not something I could, get into that right now. Maybe when my schedule lightens up, I'll be able to, jump in and, have your fourth so you could make this thing a reality. But like I said, it looks intriguing. It's just it looks like there's homework, necessary to be done before jumping in.
No, I mean, it's pretty much what you can make out of it. If you want to fill up a draft board with only 30 players and then kind of leave it to best available after that. I mean, I set it up so that I would be pretty much doing the picks based on the draft board. But I mean, it would take some time, but I mean, you're talking maybe a hour additional a week, just to get before the season to get your team set. But I mean, outside of that, it's just building your team and playing a season. And then when the new season starts again, it's the same hour a week for a couple weeks. I mean, unfortunately, right now I'm pretty slammed, but and I wouldn't be able to give it the attention that it would need. However, I mean, if people show enough interest, and Eddie, I know you kind of showed interest in assisting me. If I'd or if people show enough interest, more around like 6 guys or so, then I'll consider opening it back up.
Well, Heavy, Destro said, holla at him. You know, he probably could give you a hand with that. So, you know, after the show, just give him a shout. He said,
Right.
you have piqued his interest.
Yeah, I know I caught his interest before. But I don't think he liked my answer when he asked me about kicker styles, and I think that turned him off.
It sure did.
Because after that, he kind of just went silent there.
I think if a kicker's kick style is what makes him lose his interest, then I don't know. There's other issues. The last thing I'm thinking about is a darn kicker.
Oh, never mind. He just said it was throwing motions.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I'm not a hex guy, so I don't know one way or another whether a throwing motion serves as some kind of advantage or not. I couldn't speak on that.
I do recall that because it was brought up in the league before that certain. Oh, did I lose you?
No, we're here.
Certain throwing motions are actually quicker than others.
Yes.
And because of that, I mean, you're pretty much replacing quick release without having to actually pay for it. I guess that's my gripe, but
now if it serves an advantage, then I'm all for equaling the playing field. But otherwise, you know, I could care less. Just get the ball to the guy you're throwing it to. But some people like I don't know, Destro, just like with uniforms, he wants it to be exact. So
that's right. Can we make uniforms that got piping on the side? We ain't no piping on the side. That's not the right uniform. I agree.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can we making the Eagles purple and yellow? That's not their color. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're midnight green, a little bit of black. Sometimes they go back to a little silver and the Kelly green. You know what I'm saying? But I agree. It's all about the details. I'm with you.
Any other rules or tidbits you guys like to discuss?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I talked about my crazy theme that y'all ain't with, because you know, I don't know why, but I just want to switch it up, keep it fresh. You know, like salad, fresh. But yeah, no, I am. You know, unless y'all got other topics y'all want to touch on, I'm here. If not, then I guess we can put a bow on it.
I'm gonna pose out those questions we talked about to TJ, and put in a form and see what his response is, and go from there.
And I guess what I'll do is to pique guys' interest if they want to read about the league, then or the alternative league, I'll bump that up and have guys take a look at it. I put together a set of rules that are pretty much very similar to what's already in place, so there's no game change there. It's just downloading a few more spreadsheets and sending me a draft board or not sending me a draft board and going with best player available at the position. I mean, you get what you got what you put into it. So if you put in a decent amount of work, then which still isn't a ton, then you're going to get the players and you're going to be able to strategize a team. If not, then you're going to get best player available and make do. I mean, no one's holding your I guess the approach I took was no one's holding a gun to your head to put in a half hour or 3 hours. You get what you put into it. So I can post that or bump that up and, I mean, check the rules and see how things are handled. I mean, it's not like you have a draft night. You send me the boards and I take a week to filter through and draft for everyone and based on those boards, and that's it.
All right, well, post it and see what kind of response you get, and I guess that'll predicate everything else.
Yeah, I will say at the present moment, I maybe pinging a few people for help, but
Okay. And again, I'll pose those questions to T that we talked about and see what he says, and we can go from there. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. Actually, went a bit longer than I anticipated, but it's always been fun, and I look forward to the next one. Until then, thanks for coming on, Heavy Hitter.
Thanks for having me.
Mighty, thanks for joining on board here.
Yeah,
And,
I'm always available, brother. When it comes to football, I'm always around. I'm always lurking.
Absolutely. Outstanding. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Until next time. See you around.
Have a good one.
You too.